The second point is that when you have a staff member who's going down to talk to the Aboriginal community to try and get the story out and report on that story, that person has to be a listener. Let's bear in mind that the person they're interviewing or the people they're interviewing, they are the ones that hold the story and they are the ones who have agreed to share that story. Once again, I've seen instances where journalists or people will go into a black organisation or to a black community and they will have some form of inability to listen without injecting themselves at a personal level into the narrative. Bear in mind, as a journalist, you're listening. The number of times, and I think we've all come across this in a conversation where we're trying to relay something about ourselves, an experience we've had, and there's always that smarty pants who's going to come in and say, oh, yes, that reminds me of a situation where I was also involved in something about that. And it suddenly becomes someone else's narrative rather than your narrative. Journalists sometimes do this because they're unable to listen without their own degree of self-importance. Listen, ask questions. That's the main job. So councils can't just send anybody with a communications degree down to interview Aboriginal people and think, yep, well, they know what they're doing. No, they've got to be listeners. And in the Aboriginal community, listening is of paramount importance. And we're taught that from a very, very young age. And we tend to be a little bit intolerant when it's not exercised.